Podcast 835, Crashing Logic.
And welcome everyone to the MyMac.com podcast. Here's the thing, Gaz. We're going to talk today about all the brouhaha over the Apple car, because Apple's car business, which doesn't exist in public other than CarPlay, 14 million blogs and podcasts, and analysts saying that it does, took another step toward not being a fantasy, which it very much still is, by poaching Porsche execs and denying everything by saying nothing at all about it, which means it's definitely going to happen, maybe, or maybe not. And you can take that to the bank because you got the straight scoop from the GMen. Or did you?
Well, I think, Guy, that actually they did get it straight from the GMen, and it's a scoop that we've been going on about for some time, and it's a scoop that I will continue to scoop, which is since about 2014, 13, whenever it was, I've been saying, no, about 2014, I think it was, wasn't it? I've been saying, yep, if they do it, it'll be a service, and I'll stick to that. I still think it'll be a service, so they will not be producing a car directly, indirectly, and it will be something which you can buy into, not something which you buy outright.
Well, the only scoop that I know of that's related is the stuff that I pull out of the kitty's litter box. So that's a scoop right there. That's a scoop and a half.
Yeah, that's a scoop. That's a big scoop.
It's a big scoop.
Are you saying that this is all cat litter?
Well, eventually we'll find out.
Yes, eventually. Maybe.
Or it'll be like, Guy is now 70 years old, and they're still talking about the Apple car that doesn't exist. By the time it finally comes out, they'll be like, no, Mr. Searle, we're not going to let you drive anymore.
No,
every time that you did, you went out and you recorded podcasts, which is just not a good thing to do.
You was a very naughty boy.
So what do you got going on?
Well, this week I thought I'd abandon MyMac to do my show notes and try and use my iPad and the Logitech Combi keyboard. And it worked. I did it all. I was able to, highlight stuff, command copy, paste, and push it all across and use it. And actually, it was much more useful because using the iPad, I could then pick it up and go through my net news gear stuff and do it when I wanted, rather than having to sit in front of the machine. Yes, everybody's jumping up and down. Why don't you sync it with your iOS devices? Well, I haven't, and it means
so
I can
there.
And but I'm just using it on the iPad, and it kind of worked this week, so I'm quite happy with that. After this podding session, I'll be taking some pictures of my Mac. Well, my iMac. To be precise, to sell it. Contact me if you want to buy it, but be quick because it's going to go on fairly soon.
That's Gaz at mymac.com.
It's a 3 terabyte Fusion Drive i7 2015 late iMac with 32 gig of RAM. There you go. So contact me.
Which is a very nice machine, by the way.
It is a very nice machine. Actually, I've almost been regretting getting this little Mac Mini, but I'm future proofing myself. But this will actually do somebody a lot of favors actually, because it's not bad. It occasionally has a beach ball of death with that Fusion Drive, but I'll be honest, I've never really had too many problems with it. So
sell it hard there, Gaz. Talk about the beach balls that you get.
But people listening to this show, they know. I'm not going to try and blindside them. They know all about it.
Okay, well,
what about you? Sorry, I just had to take a sip of my beer there.
No, that's fine. There was a big storm that came through, Gaz. A big storm.
Yep.
That went through the DC area, leaving behind like 3 to 5 inches of snow and a little ice. And of course, people in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and other snowy parts of the U.S. sniggered in their fists over what we called a big storm.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, can I just divert you before you finish off?
Yeah.
Actually,
there's another one coming actually tonight.
Well, now this is the point, you see. Now,
Okay.
A lot of people joke and laugh about the English, talking about the weather all the time. Oh, you English, you're always talking about that. Here's why, Guy. Here's why. The other day, we had about 3 to 5 inches of snow. It came in, it snowed, it was there for a day and a half, and it was gone again. Completely. Not just gone slush, gone. And it's now clear, and it's been clear for a few days, but now it's getting colder again, and we might get a bit more snow. The thing is, over here, it can change so radically. That's why we talk about it all the time. So there you go. Yeah,
well, we, here in the DC area, we don't really get that. I mean, we get snowed by our politicians, but we don't get much in the way of snow.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah. Well, we see we're kind of protected by mountains to the west. So the only time we get hit really, really bad is when it's cold and it comes up from the south, kind of goes around the mountains. Mm-hmm. And it just so happens that the one that's going to kick in about 3 a.m. tomorrow morning is coming up from the south. And so we'll see what happens. Now, the weird thing about the storm that we had, it actually stayed on the ground because it was just so cold for like 2 or 3 days afterwards. And when my wife and I went out to clear the cars, it was actually easier than it usually is because snow, it falls on your car and then you got to brush it off and it doesn't all come off and you're afraid you can't go too hard on it because you're afraid you're going to scratch the car and blah, 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 blah. But because this was mixed with ice, I had one of those snow removal tools that had like a brush on one side. So I just smack it real hard and it would break off into a chunk and then just slide right off the car. So it was like, okay, this is like 5 minutes of my life that I don't have to worry about.
I used to live in London, and we had quite a big family group living with each other. And my uncle used to have a old Ford Zephyr. Do you know a Ford Zephyr?
No.
Great big car, but a great big car it was. So anybody in the UK will know that it was. And we had a lot of snow, and there were several inches sitting on his bonnet. And I thought I'd help him out by clearing it off his bonnet. I could only probably just see over the bonnet myself. Would you like to know the tool that I used?
Tell me.
He wasn't happy. It was a shovel.
That was my guess.
Yeah. I don't think he ever forgave me, to be honest with you.
But now he's dead.
No, he's not. He's actually still alive.
That was a joke. And he still doesn't talk to you, though.
Anyway, what else? I see you've got some other news. This is fantastic. I know this has pleased you no end.
Oh, yeah. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Gaz.
Brilliant. That's
because we wanted them to.
Wait, we're recording this and it hasn't been played yet.
What's your point? I just want them to win.
Okay.
I really want them to win.
Okay.
Because, Tom
Brady. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Guy. I'm going to move us on because guess what? We've actually got something as a MyMac recent article.
No,
yes.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it myself. So this is the Presonus Revelator microphone. Hang on a minute, it's a microphone. Oh, I see. This is a review by Mr. Seigel. Presonus provided this product for the purpose of this review. Microphone and software tested on an Intel Mac Mini, Intel MacBook Air, and an M1 Mac Mini. Guy owns quite a few microphones, as most of you listening to this show know.
Already know.
Some might say too many. Yes, I'd agree with that. But with spoken word recording, spoken
word. That should be word.
I think you need to review your piece, Guy. But with spoken word recording, everything begins with a microphone. Well, actually, I disagree with you. Everything begins by coming out of your mouth. Why bring this up? Well, because the PreSonus Revelator by PreSonus's own product links isn't the microphone. Even though it is. This is a typical Guy review. Sure. When you go to the actual product page, it says microphone, but their links label, it has an audio interface, which it is too. Also, it's a mixer. Did you write this with EQ settings, a noise gate, a compressor, a limiter, and it has a high pass filter as well? That's a lot from one microphone. Go over and read Guy's review because it might make more sense than the piece that I've just done. No, I doubt it. It sounds like this has got a lot in it. So go over and read.
Actually, I can show it to you. Here's what it looks like. If I can keep from like.
So for those listening to the podcast, Guy is about to show me a microphone. It's got lots of knobs and switches and buttons, and it looks quite good. So is it weighty? The
microphone? No. The stand? Yes.
Oh, well, that's good.
My God.
That's good.
This I got the box and I picked it up and I was like, ooh, that's got some good weight in it for a microphone. And then I took it out and I was looking at the stand and it was like, okay, this stand is like about 14,000 times heavier than the microphone itself. So, but one of the cool things about the microphone, and then we'll get off this, is it's got, and if you go to the review, you'll read this as well. It attaches to the desktop stand from the left-hand side as you're looking at the microphone. However, there's a screw hole on the bottom of it. And they have a stand adapter, so you can attach it to like a boom arm or another stand or something like that. So you're not limited to just the stand adapter or just the desktop stand that PreSonus gives you.
Cool. Good. I wanted to say one other thing actually in my piece, and that is that I'm continually watching for and looking for a screen, because obviously that's what I'm going to use the money from the iMac for, to buy for the Mac Mini. And all of the ones that I'm looking at, they're all constantly sold out. I don't know what's going on.
Because
that Dell one,
a lot of people are buying M1 Mac Minis and then going out and buying 4K monitors.
Will you stop it? Will you stop it, people? I need to get one.
Gaz needs to get in the queue. Come on. What's wrong with
you? You keep pushing me out. Anyway, Gaz
Dell,
also
make more monitors.
Yeah. Well, LG actually is two. There's two that I'm looking at. Anyway, I'm going to quickly whip over to Gaz's snippets. Okay, so I'm using my iPad and my notes and looking to you on a different monitor. And so this could go badly wrong. Okay.
Horribly wrong.
Apple pays 25+ million for worldwide rights to upcoming film Coda. 25 million? That seems quite cheap. Accessory makers preparing for Apple's AirTags as Co. Is it Co?
Co, yeah.
Ming Chi Kuo. Ooh. That's it. Okay, suggest that 2021 release. So,
wait. Didn't he also suggest a 2020 release?
I think it's going to be AirTags and it's going to be released within the next 5 years. That's my guess.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Apple releases Chrome browser extension for iCloud passwords on Windows EU.
What is Windows EU? Is that the European Union version of Windows? I don't
know, actually. Let me just have a look here.
Unless it's Windows.
I think I must have written that by mistake when I was doing something else. Now that's the mistake of using an iPad.
What is it actually?
No, I think it's my mistake. It's my mistake. I've added those two letters in by mistake.
Oh, just Windows.
So I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do this. Ready? There you go. On Windows.
Okay.
Now people might be scratching their head here, but full stop. For heaven's sake. Full stop. People might be scratching their heads here and thinking, what are you going on about, Gaz? Well, remember that Safari remembers your passwords and it streams that information and syncs that information across your iOS devices and on your Mac. And now, if it does that extension, it'll also do it through a Chrome browser.
A
for
Chrome
iCloud,
browser.
a Chrome browser on Windows.
You said crowd browser.
Crown browser.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I've only had one of these beers.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I was going to say, we're having a lot of trouble with just the third sentence in Gaz's snippets. This does not bode well for the rest of it.
Moves forward with appeal against Apple's. What is going on here with this EU? There you go. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Here we go. Now it makes sense, you see, folks. The EU, which was, I've just deleted from my previous sentence, the EU moves forward with an appeal against Apple's contradictory tax case victory. This could go on and on and on.
Yeah. But see, this is what makes Gaz's snippets so great and entertaining.
What? My mistakes. Apple says we have an urgent responsibility to dismantle systemic racism. Absolutely. Apple tops the Fortune's world's most admired companies list for the 14th consecutive year. The only way is down.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, by an amazing coincidence, the MyMac podcast is not in the top 10 of most admired podcasts for at least 10 years. All right, that was a long way to go for really not much, so I'll just be quiet now.
Apple launches limited edition Apple Watch Series 6 to honor Black History Month. Apple has released macOS Big Sur 11.2 with bug fixes for Bluetooth, external displays, iCloud Drive, and more. Now, this was the 11.2 that you had on your machine last week, and I didn't, and then it got released. I think you might have had the beta.
Very well. I just put on the 11.3 beta.
Right, there you go. You see, you're a naughty boy again.
I don't want to do it, but Bluetooth is still an issue.
Well, actually, yes. I've seen improvements in Bluetooth, and to my point last week about not being able to see my charging capability of my Bluetooth attached devices, it's still happening. I'm actually looking at my 11.2 Mac Mini M1 now, and it gives me my trackpad. It gives me my Mac Mini mouse, but it doesn't tell me what my keyboard is. Great. I've now clicked it and gone back in, and it now shows me what my battery is. So Apple, you still got a few things to fix. And actually, I've also had a bit of a problem with my keyboard connecting when the machine goes to sleep and I relink it. So yeah, I hope.
Yeah, I've got to tap mine to get it to kind of wake up.
Well, I've got to do more than tap it. I have to shout at it. iOS 14.5 to add iOS 14.5 to add support for joint Apple Card accounts. Good. Judge orders Tim Cook to sit for a 7-hour deposition in Epic Games' Antitrust case. I bet he's looking forward to that.
Who wouldn't look forward to something like that?
Absolutely. Apple just gave millions of mask-wearing iPhone users an excellent reason to buy an Apple Watch because it will unlock your phone instead of the Face ID, which when you're wearing a mask doesn't.
Or you can just remember your stupid 6-digit password and go in that way.
I've done that. That's what I've done. Apple is selling a $14 billion worth of debt to fund buybacks and dividends.
I don't understand that, why they're doing that.
Well,
$29 million in profits in one quarter. Sorry, billion dollars.
Billion. I think it's because it's a cheap way of getting a loan. I know. It's weird, but it's a cheap way of getting a loan. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it, when you can lend money to yourself cheaply, but you're still charging yourself to lend that money to yourself.
Yeah, and making a profit on the charge that you put on yourself.
Yes, that's probably definitely right.
Maybe.
It's all about the tax, guy. It's all about the tax. Apple TV Plus sees a record weekend viewership with a Palmer launch. I haven't seen that.
I haven't watched it yet either.
No, okay.
It's with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched it. iOS users report apps crashing on opening after syncing the iPhone or iPad with M1 Max. I haven't found that, so we'll have to wait and see. Mind you, I don't think I've synced with this M1 Mac yet, so I wouldn't have. Apple shares updated App Store review guidelines for app tracking transparency. And actually, Alan and Carl and Steve, I think, had a really, and Dean had a really interesting chat on the MyMac Mac and Forth show this week about accepting that you can be tracked from your app, because then you will be asked again by Apple. And then when you say to Apple, no, I don't want to be tracked, that's the end of it. However, if you say no to the app can then ask you again and again and again. It's just a crazy process. The next hour precipitation aluminium, yeah, rolling out in the weather app in the UK and Ireland. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't looked at it, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't use the Apple.
I just go outside and look.
Yeah, because we can see an hour away. Scratch his head.
Yeah.
Apple pulls version 12 of iCloud for Windows that supported iCloud passwords for Chrome extensions.
From the other story.
Yeah.
That you were just talking about.
But they've only done it in the EU.
Okay.
Do you get that joke?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the follow-up. Apple has sold the $14 billion worth of bonds to take advantage of the low interest rates. Now, here's a piece about the car. Possible Apple cars.
We're talking about that in the next section.
Okay. Apple shares a trailer for the upcoming Billie Eilish documentary. Now, Apple has hired the former Porsche. Okay. Apple looks to spur News Plus growth with a new affiliate program. Good luck there, Apple. Apple has shared Tim Cook's recent speech on Apple's commitment to privacy. I haven't listened to it, but I've heard it's quite good, and a lot of people have been saying, well done, Tim.
Unless you're with Facebook, Google, Epic, or...
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's kind of the way I feel about him.
My battery's just gone out, so I've probably just gone dark, but there you go. Apple stopped signing iOS 14.3 blocking downgrades from 14.4, and I just realized I missed one. Apple has also added support for stereo paired HomePods as default sound output with Mac 11.3 beta, so you can try that, guy.
Yeah. EU.
EU, yeah.
Sorry.
Apple are going to invest several billion in Okay. Canadian government approves Apple Card and Apple Cash trademarks. Shazam for iPhone gains a home screen widget in the latest app update. Apple antitrust case settled in South Korea. Businesses and consumers benefit. Apparently.
I wonder if that could have anything to do with the potential for parts and pieces to a particular item that we're going to talk about in the next section of the show.
Well, I don't know what we're going to be talking about in the next section of the show because I keep getting stopped.
Sorry.
Okay. Ted Lasso among Apple TV Plus series nominated for the Golden Globe Awards.
As well it should. What a great show.
Extensive Apple Cloud Services outages could pose problems for users.
No.
Duh.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, so if people can't get to it that use it, that could be a problem.
Huh?
Okay. All right. This is the quality kind of reporting.
I love it.
That I love hearing about from all of the it's like this is CNN problems because people can't do things. Goodbye.
Yeah. That was a report from your reporter live on the street, CNN Gazmaz. Older Apple TV will require AirPlay for YouTube video playback starting next month. So
now,
users
3rd gen and down won't be able to do it anymore. Oh, is that coming up? Sorry.
Some users having external display connection issues with Mac OS Big Sur.
It's
It's huge.
All right, you've got this tiny little OS, and then you've got the big OS.
This Mac OS Big Sur 11.1 and 11.2. YouTube discontinuing third generation Apple TV app. AirPlay still available. So that was I was going to actually put that under the other one. I forgot that wasn't my iPad's combinations fault.
No, that's fine. Yeah, because here's the thing. That device goes back to 2012. So if you're still using an Apple TV from 2012, you've probably gotten your money's worth out of it. And if you want to continue to use it, get a new one or get a TV that already has it built in.
Or use AirPlay, Guy.
Yeah.
It's quite easy. Apple asked developers to return the DTK Mac Minis in exchange for $200 credit towards an M1 Mac. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that. Extensive Apple Cloud Services outages could pose problems for users.
What? I haven't heard this before.
I just couldn't believe that it was put in there twice by different companies, and it wasn't a link to the other one. It was just, I think, what are you going on about? Apple patent filing describes a charging cable that doesn't fray. Oh, my God. I just, why did you not produce something which frayed? Why did it was better for you not to have produced something which frayed which didn't fray in the first place?
It's the Apple frayless wire charging.
I like it. Apple Watch anniversary gift credited with detecting an invisible heart condition in a 58-year-old.
Well, he shouldn't have an invisible heart then.
He shouldn't. That's incredible, really.
He should have a real heart. I'm a real boy.
Now, those stupid analysts have made Apple stock jump on the car buzz.
Don't talk about that. Yeah, I know.
Oh, dear. Apple releases first watchOS 7.4 public beta with the iPhone unlocking feature. So if you've got the public beta, you should be able to use it. There was a poll out there that says, would you buy an advanced Apple mixed reality headset with 2 8K displays for $3,000?
I don't know. Somebody from Czechoslovakia asked me, but nobody from,
Answer, no.
No.
Steve, I'm just going to ask you a question. Would you buy your own Apple headset with 2 8K displays for $3,000? Now, be honest.
No.
There you go.
And if anyone could afford it, it's the estate of Steve Jobs.
Yes. Apparently, there's Apple have paused some electric car. Apple have been hit with
out of this, aren't we?
You are, yeah. Apple have been hit with a patent infringement lawsuit over Face ID on other iPhone and other iPhone camera features. There's a surprise.
Yeah. What? A successful company with a patent infringement lawsuit?
Well, there you go. Apparently, and finally, Apple has increased Apple Silicon DTK return credit from the $200 to $500.
Which is what they charged them in the first place. They said you can borrow this for $500. Oh, and when you give it back in its original form, here's $200. Yeah. So that $300, that was just to rent it.
Yeah. I think they realized. And that, folks, is the end of Gaz's snippets. And unfortunately, I don't have any Gaz's links.
Tim.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, Guy, are you going to take us out, or are you?
I will take us out. All right, everyone, please stand by. And Gaz and I will be right back, and we'll talk about an Apple.
welcome to point 2 or second gear of this week's Mighty MyMac.
Nice.
And Guy knows why it's nice, and you'll all see why it's nice in about 2 seconds. 2. That's second gear. Oh, it's all coming out, Guy. It's all coming out.
So, it's coming out all right.
So go for it. What have you got to speak about this week? And I bet it's got nothing to do with Apple.
It does have something to do with Apple.
Oh, well, that's
sort of. Well, it is the MyMac podcast. It's just it's not about the Mac. It's about all this kerfuffle. I love that word, kerfuffle. Yeah. Over Apple cars and where it's going, how it's going to happen, all the rest. And it's like we know absolutely nothing. The analysts know absolutely nothing, but we're going to talk about it anyway because we know absolutely nothing. Right, but that's not going to stop us from pontificating greatly and just feeding into the buzz. So what we'll do, because I've got a couple of little things here. Some of these ones were from your snippets. Some of the ones were stuff I found, and we'll take them one at a time here. So I'll take the first one. JP Morgan, Gaz, the investment firm JP Morgan, says that Apple car profits could dwarf the initial investment, which they say is $3.6 billion.
Isn't that what business is all about? Making an investment to make more money?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Apple didn't intend to make all the money that it has. It was more of an accident. They were like accidentally successful. So the fact that they're going to pump 3.6 imaginary billions of dollars into a car that doesn't exist makes perfect sense to me, because you've got to take those profits and put them somewhere where they can just get lost. But then JP Morgan says they could actually make money from a car. So
that doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist.
Confirms.
Yeah. So take the next one there.
Apple stock has jumped on the car buzz.
Oh wait, no, we can talk about that now.
Yeah, this sent me crazy when I put that into my snippets, because this is what really, really annoys me, and goes to prove that all those people that were trying to take down those people who were trying to short the stocks last week,
with
it goes to show that it's all a matter of gambling, and it is a game, and it really winds me up, because it's a game with your money, folks, your money and your pensions as well, and it really, really annoys me.
All right, the next one, Apple recently poached, and not like an egg, but taken from.
I like poached eggs.
My father used to make. My father worked at night sometimes. He would get home from work, and before I would go to school, I know this has nothing to do with Apple.
Was he a woman?
No, he was not. I don't think he was. That would have been difficult. But he used to make me poached eggs before I go to school when he was working the night shift. But Apple recently poached a top engineering executive from Porsche named Manfred Hera.
Porsche poached egg. I like it.
Yeah, a Porsche egg.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
And
very good.
And
so
honestly, this still has absolutely doesn't tell us anything.
What do we know about Manfred Hera?
That he's in this article.
Brilliant. I love it.
That is all I know. That is all I know.
That's cool. That's all we need to know.
Right. So take the next one.
Possible Apple car specs. 160 mile an hour top speed, a 300 mile range, 80% charge in 18 minutes. Ming Chi Kuo,
losers. Yeah, loser. That's better off. Yeah,
why talk about
information at all?
And he's talking about, what does he get out of this? Just so a few years ago, well, I said 160 miles an hour top speed, and it's actually 175. I wasn't far out. No, but you were also completely wrong.
And he also said that it was going to be made from cotton candy. And I've got to say, I can't see how that could possibly be true.
I think he might be onto a winner there, though.
Spun sugar, which is similar to cotton candy.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. It's cheap. It's cheaper to manufacture, isn't it?
Right. And you can have it in different colors as well.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Of course, don't take it out when it gets wet. When it's raining.
I tell you what, any food dye companies, their stock value is going to go through the roof.
Oh, it's going to go crazy, Gaz. It's going to go crazy. Absolutely. All right. So definitely. The next one, Kia seeks partners to build the Apple car in Georgia, because made in Georgia, along with Hollywood, seems to be the thing to do these days. Hey, can you believe all the TV shows and movies and everything? It's like when you think of movies and TVs, you think glamour, you think glitz, you think Hollywood, you think California. You don't think Georgia, And I am not a fan for any of my friends or listeners who live in Georgia. I like you. I don't like Georgia. And that leads back to a story involving a traffic stop that happened a couple of years ago that I'm not going to go into right now. But ever since then,
I remember that.
When I drive to Florida, I stop at the very last exit before Georgia to fill my car with gas, get any food that I need, water, everything else, because I'm driving at the speed limit for 2 hours to get through Georgia to the other side. I'm not stopping in Georgia. I'm not spending money in Georgia.
Well, actually, so how far is it to drive through Georgia?
It's about 2 hours. It's like 120, 130 miles.
Well, your Apple car will be able to do that easily with its 300-mile range.
That's right.
Yes, straight through Georgia. Absolutely.
Okay. But take the next one there.
Apple's car project could put it on a collision course with Tesla. No shit, Shard.
What you naughty word.
Wow, come on. Not to be outdone, Samsung is said to be building warp speed spaceship to travel to Vulcan, putting it on a collision course with SpaceX.
Okay, I may have made that up.
You may have added that little bit at the end.
I may have added that little bit at the end.
I mean, come on.
It's like if you make an electric car and it doesn't even matter what car company it is, you are in competition with Tesla. If you make an electric scooter, by definition, you're in competition with Tesla, especially if you put like a big ass screen on it, like big.
They've had a recall, haven't they, recently?
Of what, electric scooters?
No, some of their cars. The screen's been. Anyway, we won't live on that. But I got to be honest though, Guy, I didn't know about Samsung.
Yeah, I have to say I was stunned and amazed, especially since Vulcan doesn't actually exist outside of a science fiction show.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. All right. Apple pauses electric car talks with Hyundai and Kia because everyone is hedging their bets. So just in case it actually comes out and says, well, we're not actually making an electric car. We're making electric cigarette ashtrays for cars, because Apple figured that was like a fast growing segment of the market. So then they can sit there and say, see, we told you they paused electric car talks with Hyundai and Kia until they got this whole electric cigarette ashtray thing out of the way, because that's the next service that they're going to do.
Yeah. Steve would come out with,
no matter how you try to spin this, what can you say?
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Take the last one.
Apple car prototype said to be seen in Westview, New Jersey. Sorry, let me reread that.
Yeah.
Apple car prototype said to be seen in Westview, New Jersey.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to laugh at that, but believe me, it is really, really funny.
Well, that's why I changed the way I said it to make it sound a bit funnier to the Brits.
If you wait until we get to my pick, it will have something to do with that sentence.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
I can't not make it any plainer than that, people.
I'm nodding my head.
Oh, of course you are. And he's nodding his head. Well, yeah, sure he is.
Gazz's tips.
Mostly.
Gazz's tips. I knew you weren't ready. Gazz's tips.
It's time for
Gazz's tip. Sorry, Guy. I knew I'd call you out.
You did. I was not prepared.
Okay, so if you want to cut a file like you can in Windows, well, you can, but you have to use the Option Command V when pasting. This moves the file rather than just copying it when you're in your Finder view. So you go Command V on a file or Command C on a file. When you want to move it rather than just copying it, you go Option Command V, and it should move that file rather than just copying it across. One more. Command plus in list view is useful, Guy, for old gits like me, as it increases the size of the items, especially helpful on a 5K monitor.
I don't see it.
I'm nodding my head.
Hit it. That's the end of Gazz's tips. That's the end of Gazz's tips. That's the end of Gazz's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Okay.
Lovely.
All right. Now, for pick's sake, I have it for pick's sake.
I don't, but I'm looking forward to yours.
WandaVision. Now, I have spoken before about certain TV shows that have been coming up through some of the streaming services, like Ted Lasso, which was just
you say Lasso.
amazing.
I say
Lasso. And again, like WandaVision, it took an episode or two for it to really get going. But once it did, Ted Lasso, Lasso, that program with the guy that did stuff in the UK.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah. And it was a brilliant show, and it led to an amazing conclusion. And I'm so glad that they're going to do another season of it. WandaVision kind of starts the same way. As you watch the very first episode, you will sit there and say to yourself, what the hell am I watching? Because it looks like an old TV show. That's on purpose. And it will make sense the more episodes that you watch.
Can I ask a question?
If you have Disney Plus, check out WandaVision. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Can you watch this if you've not watched all of the Marvel programs?
You can, and it will still make sort of sense. But if you have previously watched Avengers Infinity Wars and Endgame, it will make more sense, and it will be more frightening because of it.
Okay, cool.
So that's WandaVision. Check that out. If you have, we haven't talked about this in a while. If you've done an iTunes review and we speak on the show about it, send me an email to let me know that you have done said review, and you will get a Woo-oo-T. That is big W, big O, big T, little I, little E. It is an amazing thing. And if you don't have one, you just aren't living your life to its fullest.
You're not. That's very true, actually.
It is true. It is true. Now, if you would like to help support me in some of the weird things that I do,
Mike's.
So actually, they gave me this to review it. So
that's true. That's true.
That didn't cost me anything.
Okay, well, let me
yeah,
it cost me time
Yeah, well, I didn't say it wasn't an investment in time.
No.
You can go to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or you can pay a pal by going to paypal.me/MacParrot. Help defray all of the various costs involved with not so much the MyMac show, because all that's taken care of by Tim, other than the time it takes to do the show and so on and so forth. But all the other things that I do, all the other podcasts that I do, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Gaz. If people wanted to get a hold of you,
to buy my iMac. What, to buy my
your
iMac?
Yes, thank you. To buy your iMac. And they should probably be in the UK, because that'll be a lot easier than sending it to
I'm not selling it.
Mongolia.
I'm not selling it to someone outside the UK. No.
What about East Timor? Are they out?
If they actually, that is a lie. If somebody from outside of the UK wants to come to the UK and buy it, you're more than welcome.
Good luck. Good luck on that. How would someone from East Timor,
yes,
Dili is their capital, how would they get a hold of you to say, I want to buy your 2015 iMac?
Ever so easy, Guy. Send an email to Gaz, G-A-Z, at
Cars.
mymac.com, or on the Twitters, twitter.com/GazMazGAZ.
Cars.
M-A-Z. You can also contact both Guy and myself on the Twitters, twitter.com/Guy and Gaz, G-U-Y-A-N-D, G-A-Z. You can also send an email to feedback@mymac.com. That's FWDBACK at mymac.com. Now,
This guy's trying to slip me a Mickey.
the Guy never tries to sell anybody a Mickey, because
Guy was paid his 75 grand.
That's right.
You know it was a guy?
yes, we know it was a
I
guy.
like to go with Guy.
So do I. Absolutely. Because
I screwed up.
no, he never screws up. No.
Pay no attention to that guy behind the curtain.
Why?
Guy says...
What does he say?
I screwed up.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
His name was Guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
No fooling.
No fooling. No, not this one. No.
Guy's the one.
He is because
You remember Guy?
yes,
Guy.
yeah, absolutely.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. If you want,
An email from Guy.
how would they do it?
I knew we'd get there in the end.
I need to find some more guys.
Oh, do you really have to?
No, I don't, but I will.
You will. You would send that by opening an email software program client and composing an email that starts off with guy@mymac.com, not in the email, but in the header, because otherwise it won't make any sense. You can find me on the Twitters. I am Macparrot, and I am also VertShark over there on the Twitters. VertShark.com is the website for all of the audios and the videos. What else? Oh, there's the other podcast that I do. I do Guy's Daily Drive, where I get in my car and I drive and I talk and say things, because I'm really, really selling it here. And there's no fooling.
No fooling.
Thank you. There's also the Mac to the Future livecast that Warren Sklar, David Ginsburg, and I do on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And lately, more often than not, you can also find me, I'm like all over the place, Gaz, on Chuck Joyner's Tuesday night mashup at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he gets a bunch of crazy Mac people, and you know it's going to be a good time because he was foolish enough to invite me.
Yeah, I bet that makes every show gold.
Well, you'd think that, but you wouldn't necessarily be correct. But that's all the different things that I do. And Gaz, we have a Skype number that has been woefully unused as of late. Hello? Boy, there's a blast from the past. Wow. That Skype telephone number is 1 or plus 1 703 436 9501. That number again, Gaz, is 1 or plus 1 703 436 9501. And if you just can't be bothered to type a 1 or a plus 1, just go right to that Skype application and type 703 436 9501. That's all you got to do. And this is the part of the show, Gaz, where I say thank you. Thank you to everyone who downloads and listens to the MyMac.com podcast. Gaz and I greatly appreciate the fact that you have taken the time to do so. And Gaz, I think we're good enough. I do. I think we're smart enough. All right, that's pushing it. And that doggone it, woof, 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 woof. It's a 4 woof, woof. Actually, that's 6 now. People like us.
I just can't believe this.
I know.
Dynarithest asmode, Janel Appelka, Gus Ambi Apple Agaklikov, Gibel, Stada Brith, Arufa Fananen, Agus, Arithus, Eder Degen, Frudit, Look, and Alice Grach. No idea. No idea. Okay, Guy, here's a question for you. You don't need to answer it because it is a joke. Which is heavier, the collected works of Shakespeare or a prison full of inmates? The pros outweighs the cons.
Oh.
End.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.